Hey everyone, it's Dr. Jamie with True Health Chiropractic. We're so excited that you're here with us this evening. Our topic is going to be on detox, and over the next month or so, we're going to really be delving in more to this topic. There are tons of things that we can cover, but tonight we're going to move through the information kind of quickly. As always, if you have questions, you can drop them in the comments section below. If we do not answer your questions during the workshop, we will make sure that we answer them as we see them coming in over the next couple of days. And so as always too, share this video, share this workshop with other people. You never know how far reaching something that you say or share with somebody, although it may seem simple to you, can really impact the lives of other people. And that's what we are here to do. We're on a mission to help and serve as many people as possible. And so this is an awesome platform that we can do that by actually sharing these events and even the recordings afterwards. So as always, we are so grateful that you are here, and I'm going to get started going through the information. And like I said, if you have questions, you can drop them in the comment section below. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. So like I said, the topic today is detox and toxicity. And there's always a lot of talk about what it means to be toxic. Am I toxic? How do I know? What are the symptoms of toxicity? What am I supposed to do a cleanse? And so what we're really going to approach this from is just a standpoint of daily. What are things that you can do on a daily basis to remove toxins? That's the first step, is removing the toxins in your environment. In your home setting, in the foods that you eat. So we're going to talk about daily action steps that you can take. And then we're going to talk about key nutrients that are crucial in today's world that we need to be actually detoxing on a daily level. So toxicity, the main problem with it that we're seeing is that it is creates hormone imbalance, it creates weight gain, and it's a contributing factor to chronic disease. And so the obesity prevalence, when you look, it's actually tripled among children and adolescents since the year 1980. 10 to 15% of the population is affected by irritable bowel disease. 1 in 12 people have asthma. 1 in 5 had an autoimmune disease. 1 in 3 Americans struggle to sleep. And so we have a huge epidemic of chronic diseases, oftentimes many of them autoimmune, because the body, we're seeing such different levels of toxicity, everything from the food supply to pesticides and herbicides that are being used on the food, things people are spraying on their lawns, just chemicals, even the water you drink. And those are the things that we have to look at so that we can make the best decisions possible for ourselves and for our children as well. So it's not really a question of if you're toxic. The main question should be, how toxic am I? Because we know the toxic top 4 are medications, it's the water supply, it's your cookware, and it's household products. So we are all toxic. We are all being exposed to toxins on a regular basis. Even the EPA has said that the indoor air environment is more toxic than the outdoor air environment. And just look over the last year with people being quarantined and stuck indoors, not going outside, not getting exercise and sunlight. And so this is, again, not a question of am I toxic, it's how toxic am I. There's over 4 billion prescription drugs ingested every year in the United States. 70,000 chemicals are used commercially. Over 3,000 chemicals have actually been approved for use to add directly to your food. So again, we are all toxic, and we've got to first start with realizing that we can make better choices to remove some of these factors. So like I said, the toxic top 4 are medications, household products, Teflon cookware, and tap water. And so we can easily, for one, with medications, are we taking a medication instead of actually working to change our lifestyle? That's the first question. Household products. You know, things like the Tupperware that you store your leftovers in. You can use glassware instead of plastic? Do you use aluminum foil? What kind of cookware do you use? Are you using non-stick Teflon cookware, which is known to cause cancer? And what kind of water are you drinking? These are all things, not even what kind of water are you drinking, but what are you bathing in? What are you showering in? What kind of toothpaste do you use? Deodorant. These are all things that we can start being more aware of and making the best choices possible. So are you reacting to the symptoms of your bucket spilling over, or are you preventing your bucket from filling in the first place? And this is what I mean by, you got to realize is that we kind of think of toxicity as kind of imagine the body as a bucket. And as, like I said, toxins are coming in through the air we breathe, the things that we're touching, the things we're exposed to, the sanitizers, the medications, the prescription drugs, the vaccines, all of these things are filling up our bucket. And essentially what we need to do is we're trying to actually prevent the bucket, for one, from filling, but two, we don't want the bucket to actually spill over. In this aspect, that's when we kind of look at it is that you very well probably do have symptoms of true toxicity. So we don't want to just react to those symptoms. The whole point is that we want to remove the triggers so that we can prevent that bucket from filling up. There are 7 detox channels in your body that naturally help you detox. Number 1 is your skin, your lungs, your colon, your kidneys, the liver, the lymphatic system, and yes, even your fat cells actually do help you detox. So when we look at these different things, the key is that when we're looking at these different organ structures, are there things we absolutely can do when we detox, nutrients that we can take, supplements that we can take, when we do certain cleanses, are we actually, helping these organs to function better? Yes. So we can help by taking certain things, but again, like I said, the number 1 step is going to be to take a look around in your environment and figure out what it is that you can remove that's going to help prevent filling up that bucket in the first place. So when we look at these different channels, when we're looking at the skin, we're looking at the colon and kidneys, what controls all of this as well is the nervous system. And that's another key thing when we see that people have high amounts of toxicity levels. This can also lead to depression. It can lead to fatigue. It can lead to neurological pain, balance issues, vertigo, ringing in the ears. These are also signs of actual toxicity. So it's important to understand that all of these organs, tissues, and cells are being controlled by the nervous system. And so we want to make sure the body ideally is functioning at its best as close to 100% as possible. So through these different detox channels, there are 2 types of detox that occur, an intracellular and an extracellular. So your intracellular detox is based on basically balancing the internal cellular environment. And this is going to allow for proper nutrient absorption and excretion. It's composed primarily of antioxidant enzymes like glutathione, catalase, and superoxide dismutase. These are the key things inside our actual living cells that help our cells actually detoxify themselves, get the bad stuff out, and get the good stuff in, and be able to utilize all those key nutrients that you're either taking through a supplement or 2 that hopefully you're getting through your diet. The body's natural defender is glutathione. It is the big daddy natural antioxidant. We can't, though, what's important to note is that we need the building blocks of glutathione to actually kind of, in essence, activate it inside of the body. So the building blocks of glutathione are cysteine, glycine, and glutamic acid. And these can be found in even like the product like we have at the office through our detox product. These building blocks are in that, but they're also found in certain foods that we're going to talk about in just a second. Sulfur-rich compounds like glutathione also bind to toxins for removal. So sulfur-rich things are high in glutathione. They are high in vitamin U. You can find them in cultured dairy products, dairy proteins, and whey proteins. Plus, sulfur-rich foods are kind of the smelly ones, right? They're the cabbage, it's the broccoli, it's the onions, it's the garlic. That's why these things are so often utilized in a detox or a cleanse to just really reset that body's natural ability to detoxify naturally. And so sulfur-rich compounds, yes, we can drink whey protein. We can eat and drink cultured dairy protein products. And then, too, other foods, like I said, the cabbage and the onions, those are things that are great to start incorporating into every meal as much as you can. So the detox solution that we carry at the office, the detox system, is actually composed of 2 different products within one box. Essentially, what it is, it helps the body actually allow to cleanse on this cellular level that we're referring to. And so it contains traditional organ system detoxifiers like chlorella, milk thistle, spirulina, and probiotics, all known to help with those organ systems that I talked about, the liver, your gut, your kidneys, to actually function better, to be able to eliminate toxins in the body. It also, too, the products in the detox system actually protect your cells against free radical damage. That's kind of the point of an antioxidant. So it's very high in intracellular antioxidants like glutathione, catalase, the superoxide dismutase are all located, all in this product that we carry in the office. Specific nutrients, it also allows them to shuttle toxins out of your body. So things like activated charcoal, carbon, and magnesium are in the product to effectively bind to those toxins to then help your body eliminate them naturally through the colon, through the kidneys, through the urine, so that your body can cleanse. And so this is allowing the body, it's not a harsh cleanse that's only focused on the liver or only focused on your kidneys or only focused on your gut. This is a cellular level cleansing system that allows you, because of the dosage that's in here, you can actually use this on a daily basis. So some people actually struggle genetically to actually detoxify themselves. They just don't, the message, the coding, it doesn't allow them to efficiently be able to carry out these processes. These are people that really need to be focused on taking a product like this as part of their regimen. Sometimes other people will use our product to do more of a focus, maybe a quarterly, 30-day cleanse where they're cleaning up the diet, especially in the coming months when we're going to be transitioning into spring. Your body is just much like the environment where now, right, after winter, things are dying off and things are going to start sprouting and things are going to start growing again. And this is a great time to actually detoxify. And that's why in the next coming weeks, we're going to be talking more about detox and things that we can be doing as we move into the spring season to really help maximize the results that you're getting. Other things that are in this product: peppermint, fennel, ginger root, again, all key things that help to detoxify because they have high levels of vitamin U and those sulfur binding products, which are awesome. Another thing that you can incorporate into your routine is whey protein. Now, when we talk about whey protein, we need to be getting our protein from a clean source. This means from naturally derived cows that are grass-fed. You don't want to be just going and picking up a whey protein because it's cheap at your big box store. You will know when a protein is better quality. For one, the price is probably going to tell you that too, but key things are that the product should smell good. It should not be clumpy. It should actually mix well in your glass. And you don't need other things in it. You don't need sugar. You don't need fillers. You don't need other flours and other junk in your protein. And that's what you need to be looking at when you're reading the labels. You shouldn't just take things because they're cheap. Oftentimes what we tend to see is that supplements that are sold in a big box store, they are mass produced at the lowest level of the nutrient. The dosing is not correct, and oftentimes are filled with other things: blatant sugar, fillers, soy, other bad things that actually toxify your system and lead to bigger issues when we're talking about toxicity. The key thing, though, about whey protein is that it actually, comparative to other proteins like rice or soy, is that it actually does contain those powerful immune boosters to help synthesize your antioxidants necessary for detoxification. So it actually contains those building blocks to glutathione, like cysteine. Okay, and so this, again, right, remember that glutathione is the big daddy antioxidant in the cell. And so anything that we can do to boost our glutathione levels is going to, at a cellular level, help our body do exactly what it was designed to do on its own. So again, an antioxidant is going to defend your body against free radicals, toxins, and cancer. And research suggests that whey protein can actually increase your cellular glutathione levels. So now, how do toxins alter your hormones? It's because, and this is where we get into the fat It's because toxins mostly are fat soluble. So what this means is that when things are coming in through the air we're breathing, the food that we're eating, bad supplements, medications, the cookware, the water, when all the toxins are coming in, they typically actually get trapped in your fat tissue. Now, what's a key is though that fat is actually a precursor to actually produce many of the hormones in the body. And every cell in your body is actually covered by 2 layers of fat. So when the toxins come in, they get trapped, and in essence then your cell is weakened, and therefore it needs support to actually flush these toxins out. And now, what's one thing we can definitely do? Start exercising, start moving your body, right? If we're burning fat and we're sweating and we're drinking great sources of water and we're have protein and we're building muscle mass, this is an easy thing that you can do to actually start help detoxifying the system. So when you exercise, you're not only going to be burning the fat, but if we have those other things such as the vitamin D, such as the whey protein, our magnesium, right now we have the binders such as the glutathione and sulfur to help eliminate these toxins out of the actual body. And that's what we want to do. We don't just want the toxins being released from the fat and then going somewhere else and toxifying something else in the body. We actually want to be able to remove these things. Now, vitamin D and detox. Vitamin D is actually not a vitamin. It actually acts more like a hormone in the body. So it's a powerful repair and maintenance steroid hormone that's involved in numerous functions in your body and organs. It is actually involved in over 2,000 mechanisms of action in your body. That's why everybody says it's good for everything, from your heart to your skin, to your eyes, to your nails, to your digestive system. And when we talk about detox, it is crucial and involved in these processes as well. So again, it acts like a steroid hormone. It regulates your body by literally triggering genes to be turned on or be turned off. So if you have not had your vitamin D levels checked and your vitamin D levels are low, this is an absolute must that you need to be supplementing with vitamin D. Because most people do not go outdoors. Like we said earlier, with COVID, people have been quarantined. They've been told to not go outside. And so we saw a lot of deficiency in vitamin D. Also, too, depending on where you live, your access to sunlight, that is the number one way that you can get vitamin D. Again, there are natural ways to do this, but oftentimes we see people that even live at the beach, they're deficient in this because they're not going out in midday sunlight and exposing over 80% of their body. And even when they go out in the sun, what are they wearing? They're wearing sunscreen and they're wearing hats and clothing because we've been told our entire lives that the sun kills you and gives you cancer. So again, there's all these myths about different things that go on that are not based off of actual science. But the key is that if you're not getting outdoors, if you are not getting sunlight and you are not getting fresh air, you can pretty much probably assume that your vitamin D levels are sluggish or low at best, and therefore making sure you're taking a quality supplement of vitamin D with vitamin K as well in it to actually help boost your vitamin D levels. It is crucial in the detox process to actually reduce toxins in the system. It's also crucial for your brain and your nervous system. Remember what I said earlier is that all those organs I showed you, the kidneys, the lymphatic system, the liver, your gut, are all controlled by one thing. They're controlled by the brain and they're controlled by your nervous system. So it's crucial that, right, that system as well is optimal and it's functioning and that we can get all the messages we need to get to where they need to go. So it actually does help to improve your brain's detoxification process. This has been found and written in numerous journals. Vitamin D also helps to remove mercury from your body safely by radically increasing the amount of intracellular glutathione. It's a no-brainer, guys, that we should be taking certain supplements. That's why when you come into our office, you see that we pretty much have a general trend to the things that we carry. We don't carry a full vitamin store A through Z because we've recognized and seen the key nutrients that people need on a daily functional basis are going to be your vitamin D, your omegas, your good healthy fats, your magnesium, and you got to be taking a quality multivitamin and mineral, as well as the detox system that we carry that's loaded with antioxidants. Your visceral fat is your fat around your organs, and it is the most dangerous type of fat. It is linked to metabolic syndrome, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And it is actually viewed as an organ and stimulates the production of stress hormones like leptin and cortisol. These are your bad guys. These are what cause you to gain weight, hold weight, increase your blood sugar. This is somebody that's being told they're borderline diabetic. We know that these hormones are not functioning correctly. They're not being released at the right time. Cortisol is a standard when you hold fat, especially around your midsection. Usually your cortisol levels are out of balance. This can be looked at through a saliva test to know when your cortisol levels are spiking. Also, when we look at leptin, we know this hormone is actually made by your fat cells. And so again, when things are imbalanced, when there's toxicity and the fat is being bogged up with all these toxins, that's why these hormones, in essence, kind of get out of balance as well. And so when we start cleaning stuff up by first removing the things we're being exposed to, that's the number one step. Then yes, we can really start looking at key nutrients, key supplements, and two, if maybe somebody does need to do some other, bigger detoxifying methods, we can look into that as well. But we've got to start with step number one, and that's removing the actual triggers. Extracellular detox is what actually balances the external cellular environment. So it's going to improve your fluid exchange primarily through your sodium-potassium ratio and helps to eliminate those toxins through your lymphatic system, colon, and kidneys. That's the key part with extracellular. So the sodium-potassium ratio is huge. Modern high sodium diets not only raise your blood pressure, but they actually force your body to retain water. And this leads to edema or swelling and actual kidney fatigue. Now, the answer to this is not taking a water pill. It's actually drinking more water. It's actually cleaning up your diet. It's taking key nutrients and supplements, right, to help your lymphatic system, help the colon, help the kidneys to actually get these toxins out so these organ tissues aren't being bogged down. Again, whey protein is a natural source of organic bound potassium. And so this actually does help with this sodium potassium ratio to actually increase your potassium levels to help flush that excess sodium and stagnant extracellular fluid from your body so that these key organs are not being bogged down in this toxicity. Magnesium is also important for detox. Magnesium, chlorophyll, chlorella, cilantro, vitamin C, algae, kelp, lemon juice are all shown to remove heavy metals. These are things that you definitely should incorporate on a daily level into your meals that you're eating so that you can help just keep detoxifying on a daily basis. Because remember, the question is not, are you toxic? You are. You need to actually be working on a daily level to be removing these things from the body. Magnesium is pivotally important to the healthy functioning, again, of your parasympathetic nervous system, what we call rest and digest. So think about when your body detoxifies and when it heals is when you're sleeping, when you're resting. This is also primarily when most of your digestion takes place. So magnesium is involved. It's much like vitamin D. It's involved in numerous physiological processes in the body. But when we talk about detoxification, this is the primary way that it actually does help in that detoxification system by allowing the body to be calm, calming the nervous system down so you can actually rest and digest. There are many common prescribed pharmaceutical drugs that actually cause you to lose magnesium through your urine. Diuretics, birth control pills, insulin, digitalis, tetracycline, and other antibiotics, corticosteroids, and bronchodilators for asthma all cause you to actually lose magnesium. So this is another thing that we see that many people need to be supplementing because they're not getting it by eating their leafy green vegetables, and they may be taking many not just one, but maybe multiples of these medications. So this is something that you need to be paying attention to. Magnesium is necessary for the neutralization of toxins. It actually helps to lower acidic conditions in the body, and it protects you from heavy metals. And glutathione, here we go again. Remember the big antioxidant, it actually requires magnesium for its synthesis. So again, this is a key thing when we're actually helping to raise these glutathione levels. Magnesium will also protect your brain cells from damaging effects of aluminum, beryllium, cadmium, lead, mercury, and nickel, which sometimes depending on where you live, we see very high amounts of these things still in the water supply. But even in other, ways that we're picking up, especially lead, aluminum, and things like that. So again, magnesium is crucial in the detoxification process. And the last is making sure your nervous system is optimally functioning. Why? Because like I said, every organ, tissue, and cell is controlled by your nervous system. You can go a month without eating. You can go a few days without water. You can hold your breath for maybe a couple minutes, but you cannot go 1 second without your nervous system. Without your nervous system telling these organs how to work, these organ tissues die. And so chiropractically, that's why we say too, part of your detoxification process is making sure that you are getting your spine adjusted, that it is moving properly to allow the nervous system to be healthy, right? We don't want any extra interference in our spine, our joints, our nervous system through the food that we're eating. What we're trying to do, right, is prevent the bucket from being filled up, not just constantly reacting to the bucket spilling over or just constantly reacting to symptoms. We can make simple changes on a daily basis that lead us to a more functional, abundant life, and that is the whole point. And so a part, again, of your detox process is making sure that you're keeping that spine and nervous system functioning at its optimum level. So some key things that I want you to take away that you can start with. Number one is drinking more water. Primarily, we recommend drinking reverse osmosis water. There are things, like I said, we'll talk about in the next couple of weeks that you can do easily now that do not cost a lot of money to make some changes in your home. But if you got to start with bottled water, that's what you got to do. And so, but drinking more water, you've got to start moving your body and exercising, a minimum of at least 3 times a week of exercise. I would recommend when you're trying to detox that you remove all sugar from the diet to allow the body to actually be able to not burn off sugar constantly, but so it can actually start fighting and burning off some of the fat that has and may be holding a lot of the toxins in your system. And as well, making sure you're staying in line. If you do not go to a chiropractor and you need help finding one, we are happy to help you do that. If you're not in our area, you can contact us or ask below, and we will make sure that we link you up with someone in your area so that you can get your spine and nervous system checked. Those are some key things you can start doing on a daily basis to improve your removal of toxins, right, to not keep filling up that bucket. And then, as I said, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing some shorter workshops to just keep you moving in the right direction when it comes to detoxification and cleaning up the system. I hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of the day. Like I said, if you have any questions or you think of questions later, please feel free to drop them below in the comment section and we will answer them as quickly as we can. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day and we will see you soon.